Hi guys, welcome back to your practice. Today I'm going to talk about the pelvis and how really we're oriented in the pelvis affects the rest of our practice, as well as thinking about the breath, how we are engaging the core and using our pelvic floor and our diaphragm, and again, how that's affecting the rest of our practice from forward bending to back bending. We are going to use a couple of blocks. And we're gonna start seated in Virasana, so you can sit up on your shins with me. And then again, just take your hands to your pelvis right away. And we're gonna just kind of look at and dissect how we are oriented here. So if your knees are not comfortable in your seat, just turn your block higher. And I have my block on the wide setting. It could be whatever height you need. You could even use 2 blocks or add a blanket on top. And so I want you to think of your pelvic bowl as like a bowl, in your kitchen. And so you can think that there is pouring the bowl back, and then you can also pour the bowl forward. So this is going to be tilting the bowl forward is an anterior tilt, and heavying your tailbone and tilting it backwards is more of a posterior tilt in anatomical terms. So you could think like you are going to make some pancakes and you're going to pour a little batter out of the bowl, and then after you pour, you want to stop pouring, and so you're going to tilt it back. Yeah? So just imagine this bowl spilling out forward and then pulling back. And again, you can take your hands to your hips and feel this. So this is essentially just a little cat-cow in your pelvis. And so when we tilt forward, we are increasing the curve in our lower back, our lumbar spine. And we're also finding and folding at our hips. And then when we tuck, we're lengthening the hip flexors a bit and lengthening the low back. So just notice that. And we'll talk about this a little bit more. Cool, now we're just gonna rotate to the right a couple times. And I want you to start to find this movement from the chest. And then go to the left, just warming up the spine and the hips. Come back to the middle, and again, go cat-cow just from your pelvis. Great, take your hands behind your head and lace your fingers. And we're gonna do a cat-cow just from the upper spine. So just your chin and your sternum will move. Chin up, elbows up, look up, lean your head back, and then round, pull, navel in, tuck your chin. Just dissecting the cat-cow a little bit. Good. Now we're going to come off of our block and come into hands and knees. And we're going to come into an extended child's pose, but I want you to play with finding a posterior tilt, so tucking your tailbone and lengthening your spine and taking your booty to your heels. Good. Inhale, come up. And then stick your booty up. Find that anterior tilt like you're spilling out from the bowl. And then slowly take your booty back. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, cat spine. So push the ground away. Tuck your chin, heavy your tailbone. Keep that posterior tilt. Inhale, come up. Go the other way. Lift your booty. Arch your spine. Vision forward. Hips to heels. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, belly in. Tuck your chin. Tailbone super heavy. Inhale, come up. Last one. Shoulders back, chest forward, booty up. Anterior tilt. So it's a back bend. and come up. Great. Go ahead and lay on your back. And put your feet underneath your knees, feet hip width. And I want you to do this little cat-cow here. So notice that when you stick your booty into the ground, your low back lifts, and my hand can go underneath my lower back. And that's finding a back bend in our lumbar spine, our lower spine. And then if I was to draw my ribs to my frontal hip bones, I flatten my low back on the ground. My abdominals engage, and my glutes kind of shorten and strengthen as well. So let's do 2 of these. Just inhale, lifting the belly. Exhale, lengthening the tailbone. Inhale, lift the belly, little back bend, and exhale, pull your ribs down. Good. I want you to think ribs down, lengthen your tailbone, and lift your hips, lift your glutes into a bridge pose. So you'll notice how that lengthening of the lower back helps to engage the glutes. Think that you're drawing your heels up towards your head, suctioning your heels back. That's going to fire your hamstrings and fire up the glutes. Good. Lengthen one vertebra at a time. So lengthening the spine, keeping that posterior, slightly tucked tailbone, and slowly lower down. Good. Find the back bend. Lift your lower back. Feel the difference. Good. Lengthen the tailbone. Ribs down. Keep lengthening as you lift your glutes into a bridge pose. Draw your heels up. Good. Go down the way you came. So you'll lower your mid back first, and then your lower back, and then your tailbone hits last. One more time. Lift the belly. So the belly releases, it softens. You can think like a pregnant belly to arch the spine, back bending in the low back. Great. So we want to do the opposite to engage the abs and the glutes. Good. Find your bridge. So this bridge is not for spinal extension. It's for hip extension and glute engagement. So tailbone is long. Suctioning your heels up. You should feel this in the back of your legs. Good. Lower the way you came. Mid back, lower back. Pelvis hits last. Great. Hug your right knee in. And I want you to do that little cat-cow action. So belly up, belly in. Low back lifts, low back presses. And just notice that you have the ability to shift your pelvis while you are taking hip flexion. And then straighten your legs, both legs. Interlace your hands behind your thigh. Same thing. Lift the belly, flatten the low back. Trying to keep your left leg super straight, which can be hard. Your bottom leg. Again, little cat-cow. Anterior, posterior tilt in your pelvis, keeping the leg straight. Other side, hug your left knee in, step on your right foot. Let's start with the knees bent. Lift the low back, and then heavy the tailbone. Lift and press the low back. One more, lift and lengthen. Interlace your hands behind your thigh, straighten your legs. Good, lift your belly. Belly to spine. Keep your right thigh pressing down as best you can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, lift. And belly to spine. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little left and right. Grab your knees. Push your knees into your hands. Pull your belly in And this is just going to lengthen your lower back. Release your lower back. A gentle push of your knees into your hands and a gentle push of your belly down. And then you can make your way to your hands and your knees and find a downward facing dog. Inhale, find a plank pose, measure your dog out, make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. So you have a 90-degree angle at your wrist crease. Cool. And then hips back, down dog. Bend your knees, lift your sit bones, and we're doing an anterior tilt. Yeah, we're lifting our booty, finding that little length in we're finding that little lift of our booty, and that is a little back bend in our lower spine. And then I want you to do the opposite. You're going to pull the belly in, lengthen your tailbone, and then straighten your legs and draw your heels down. Good. Bend your knees, lift your booty, lift your sit bones, finding more of a back bend shape. And then pull the belly in, heavy your tailbone, and start to draw your legs straight, draw your heels down any amount. Let's do that again. Bend the knees, booty high, chest to the thighs. We're folding in the hip crease, and then heels down, belly in, tailbone long. Cool. Step your right foot forward, lower your back knee, and then come into like a little bit of a shorter lunge. So the knee is right underneath your hip, and we're going to play with this little cat-cow action. So notice that when I let my belly go down and I back bend, it takes the work out of this back hip flexor. So depending on what you tend to do in your practice, it's helpful to notice that the pelvis very much affects how much you're opening your hamstrings and your hip flexor. So if we really are wanting to focus on the left quad and hip flexor, it's helpful to slightly pull the belly in. And as we pull the belly in, it takes the work more into the left quadricep. So think that you're pressing your left foot down, heavying your left tailbone, and then keep that action. It's almost like you're trying to extend your left leg, and then move your knee forward and back. Great. Come to center, reach your arms forward, interlace your fingers, and I want you to protract your shoulders. So that means widen your shoulder blades and pull your chest in. So not back bending. Instead, chest goes into the back, belly is engaged, and we're going to do a little twist to the right. Good. Inhale through center. And exhale, belly in, and a little twist to the right. Inhale through center, one more. Push, belly in, pressing the shoulder blades wide and away, and go to the right. Beautiful. Release your hands. We're going to extend just the right leg. You might slide your back knee back. Lift your right toes up. Now I want you to, again, think about the pelvis. And if we have the tailbone really heavy here, we're not going to get as much access into the belly of the hamstring. So as you back bend slightly in your spine, you actually get more into the belly of your hamstring because your fascia is all connected. And when you back bend, you're pulling and shortening this whole back line. So toes reach towards your face, chest reaches towards your toes. And then we're going to step forward and fold over the legs. Inhale, rise up, arms up, breathe in. And exhale, do a little twist to the right. Keeping that right hip pulled forward, thumbs up. Good. Inhale, arms up, look up, and then exhale, fold. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale the left leg and step forward. Exhale, release your back knee. You can point your back toes. And again, your knee can be just underneath your hip. It doesn't have to be a longer lunge. So a little bit shorter for today, just to focus on the right quad. And again, just do this little mini cat-cow in your pelvis so that you see that you have the ability to adjust your pelvis. Really in any shape, you can find more of an anterior tilt and more of a posterior tilt. The deeper the shape, the less you can move here. But certainly in a lunge, it's going to allow you to understand your tendency. So again, to get into the right quad, we want to pull the belly in, press the right foot down a lot, keep it pressing down. So toenails pressing like you're extending the right leg into the ground, and then just move your hips forward and back a couple times. Strengthening and lengthening the right hip flexor and the right quad. Good. Come back up so the knees over the ankle. Interlace your fingers. Put the other thumb on top. Spread your shoulder blades on your back. Pull your belly in. Keep your core engaged. Twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Keep that knee facing straight ahead. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Good. Inhale to center, release, and we're going to scoot the back knee back and straighten your left leg. So reach your toes up towards your head. Again, when you're rounding the spine, totally fine. But if your hamstrings are tight, especially, think that you're back bending. So think that there's a string connecting your chest to your toes. Lift your toes to your chest. So the more you can find a back bend, the more you will really open up the hamstrings. Keep flexing the foot as well. Take another breath in and out. Rebend your knee, step forward and fold. Inhale, take your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the left. So try to square your shoulders off and think that you're stacking them as that left hip pulls to the front. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold into your legs. Step your right foot back and find a downward dog. Inhale to plank. Lower your knees and then lower your elbows. And we're going to play with the core a little bit here. So I want you to notice that you can belly breathe. So the belly can soften and the belly can contract. Good. I want you to inhale, soften your belly. And then exhale, pull your belly in. Keep your core engaged. Push through your shoulders. And I want you to send your breath into your back when you inhale. Good. Exhale, let it go. Again, breathe in normally, expanding the belly. Pull the belly in. Keep the core engaged. Breathe in. Send the breath more into your back. And breathe out. Good. Come into a forearm plank. And we're going to try to keep the core engaged, breathing into the back. So send your breath into your shoulder blades, into the back of your lungs, the back of your kidneys, and the sides of your waist. Think that you are cinching your ribs in like a corset, pulling the belly up and lengthening your tailbone slightly. Good. Tap your right knee and your left knee, and your right knee, and your left knee. Good. Lower your knees and do a little back bend. Sphinx pose. Good. Let your belly relax. Breathe into your belly. And then we're going to make a sound, pulling the belly up, lifting your pelvis up, but keep your knees down. Good. Lower your pelvis and relax your belly. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Belly goes in, so navel to spine. Lift your pelvis. Good, and let it go. We're going to breathe in. Do one more like that. Soften the belly for this one. And then exhale, belly in. Good, keep the belly engaged. This time, different. Breathe into your back. Keeping the pelvis lifted. Good, release, push back to sit. And then I want you to bring your hands around your ribs. We're just going to look at this a little bit more. So what I want you to realize is that when we breathe in to our belly, which is very natural to do when we are relaxed, when we're sleeping, when we're at rest, super healthy to do, especially for people that have chronic over-engagement of the core. So that might be you, that might not be you. But yeah, so belly breathing is totally great and normal to do if we're at rest. And we want the ability to pull the core in, so cinch in our ribs, engage our deep transverse abdominis, our deep core muscles, and keep them engaged while we're doing core exercises, while we're lifting weights, or doing a practice that's asking us to engage our abs. So we want to be able to move the breath into different areas of the body. So I want you to bring your hands around your ribs and think that when you breathe in, your ribs expand 360 degrees. So the front, the back, and the sides, you can think like a pillow, expand out. And when you exhale, think that they go all the way into center. So it's not just the belly that expands, but also the low back on the inhale and the sides of the waist. 360 breathing. Feel that your ribs expand out in all directions. And exhale, feel the ribs cinch in. So inhale, the pelvic floor releases, the diaphragm stretches, expanding, and again, think that the breath goes out in all directions. And then exhale, everything goes in. One more like that, expanding the ribs. Out in all directions. And exhale, drawing everything in. Good. Bring your knees a little wider, feet together. Put your left hand in the middle between your knees. And then I want you to pull your left shoulder to center. So we're going to take a deep twist. So instead of twisting from here, bring your shoulder in line with your wrist and take your right hand up. Wrap your palm to face the ceiling. Pull your belly in slightly. And think that you're pushing your left hand to the left to open your chest to the right. Good. Breathe in and release. Bring your right hand in the middle. And again, take your hand to your shoulder and center it over your wrist in between your knees. Chest to the left. So we're stacking the shoulders. Turn your palm to face forward. And then I want you to push your bottom hand to the right to activate this twist. Take another breath in. And then release. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step through. Lower your back knee, take your arms up. Interlace your fingers and exhale, twist to the right. Good, stay there. Bend your elbows. Hook your elbow outside your thigh. Prayer twist. Push your chest towards your thumbs. Think that your shoulder blades go slightly down your back. Pull your belly in a little bit. So belly off the thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. Release your hands. Straighten both of your legs this time. Long pyramid pose. Bend your back knee and lift your right toes. Any amount. Flex the right foot. Back bend over your straight leg. So think sternum to toes. Good. Rebend your knee. Take your right hand up. Exhale, reach forward and down. Straighten your leg. Step forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to center. Hug your right knee in. Do a little cat-cow with your pelvis. Good. Core engaged, tailbone heavy. Grab the outside of your thigh and take your right arm to the right. Take a twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come through center, hands on your hips, straighten your leg any amount, and let it go. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, shoulders back, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step through. Release your back knee, arms up, breathe in. Exhale, interlace your fingers and twist to your left, belly engaged. Bend your elbows. Hook your elbow outside your thigh and then prayer your hands. Push your chest to your thumbs. Stay there. Smooth breaths in and out of your nose. Pull the belly away from the thigh. Think that you're widening and spreading your back. Take another breath in. Exhale, release. Straighten both of your legs. You could spin your back heel down. And then we're going to bend the back knee and lift the left toes. You can always use your blocks. Sternum towards your toes. Good. Rebend your knee. Twist. Left arm up. Plant your hands and fold top of your mat. Inhale, rise up, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hug your left knee in. Give it a squeeze and do a little cat-cow. From your pelvis, tailbone heavy, and then the booty sticks back. Good. Heavy your tailbone, belly in, twist. Grab your thigh, twist to the left. Again, trying to stack those shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale through center. Inhale, straighten your leg any amount. And release. Arms up. Breathe in. Look up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Plank pose. Breathe in. Chaturanga. Breathe out. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step through. Spin your left heel down this time, so your back toes are going to face 10 o'clock on an imaginary clock. Warrior one. Interlace your fingers, twist to the right. Bend your elbow, hook it outside your thigh. Keep your knee over your ankle. Prayer twist, 3 breaths. Belly in. Keep finding the outer edge of your back foot. Send your breath into your back. Another breath in. And plant your hands and straighten your legs any amount. Bend your knee. Lift your back leg up, warrior 3. Your hands are on blocks or the ground. So we'll take a supported warrior 3 and then bend your right knee a little bit and rotate your right hand to the sky. Little twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Step your feet together. Find a chair pose. Arms up. Prayer twist to the left. Hook your elbow outside your thigh. Push your chest towards your thumbs. Lean your head back. Bring more weight to your heels. Breathe in. Breathe out and fold. Step your left foot back. Right foot back. Breathe in. Chaturanga. Breathe out. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale your left leg up. Step to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down. Right toes face 2 o'clock. And then you're in warrior 1. Notice what your pelvis is doing. So the tailbone's a little bit heavy. Chest is broad. Interlace your fingers. Twist to the left. Hook your elbow outside your thigh. So slightly pulling the belly in and heavying the tailbone and breathing into the back. Keep finding the outer edge of your back foot, lengthening the crown of your head to the front, your tailbone to the back, so long axis that you're spinning around. So you're not leaning to the left, you're rotating from center. Exhale, release your hands, kick your back leg up to warrior 3, turning the toes down. Micro bend your knee and take a little twist. Left arm up, left shoulder up. Breathe in, breathe out, belly in, take another breath in, and toes together, chair pose. Twist to the right, hook your elbow outside your thigh. Sitting low, weight to the heels, chest towards your thumbs. Lengthen the head forward. Again, revolving around your center axis. And exhale, fold, step your left foot back. Plank pose, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And lower your knees. Sit back on your heels. Stand up on your shins. And just notice, again, moving through a little cat-cow, what that feels like. So booty back, softening the groin, and then heavying the tailbone, engaging the glutes. Feeling that difference. And then we're going to kind of move through a fluid shape to get into a camel pose. So you're going to stick your booty back, bring your left hand down next to your feet. You could also use a block. And we're just going to lengthen the tailbone and lift the hips. And then lower. And we'll go to the right, hips up, and then lower, and go to the left, and lower, and to the right, and lower. And if it feels like you can go all the way around, you take both hands to meet your feet. And then we'll slowly sit back down. So just to talk about what's happening in the pelvis a little bit, when we lengthen our tailbone, that is just engaging the glutes. Now, when you're in a very big, full expression of a back bend, you're going to keep the curve in your low back, so you will be doing a slight anterior tilt. But on our path there, we want to think slight posterior tilt to engage the glutes so that we're not overdoing it in our low back, so that we can find more of a back bend in our upper spine, if that makes sense. So let's try it one more time, going to the right and back up. Again, your hand can be on a block or your foot, and then you can take your left hand all the way around to find your foot. Shoulders back, chest up, tailbone heavy, sternum up, and then booty back, to lower. So nice. Okay, we're gonna finish with another back bend, and I'm going to give you an option here to really open up the shoulders in this shape. So we've done quite a bit of twisting, which really does support the same shape. So you might feel more warmed up for it. You're going to have one block on the lowest height. And that's going to hit right in between your armpits. So it's going to hit your shoulder blades on your spine. So go ahead and make your way there. Your head is on the ground. Find the block in between your shoulder blades. Booty's on the ground. Cactus your arms. Take a few breaths here and notice the spreading of your chest muscles with this restorative back bend. And then we're going to do an eagle bind. So you can hug the right arm over the left and then try to connect your hands. If your hands don't connect, you can stay hugging like this. Otherwise, you start to connect your hands, and then you're going to bring your elbows to your chin, and you're going to look to the right. So your chin is going to be over your right bicep, and you're going to try to press that right hand all the way flat on the ground. And you can bring your left wrist around your right wrist, holding your wrist. Take 3 big breaths here. And then we're going to switch. Bring your left elbow over your right, hug yourself, and then you can try to connect your hands. You can grab your left wrist with your right hand. Start to put your left hand on the ground. Look to the left, and then you're going to let your bicep connect with your chin. You'll feel a little restriction in your throat, and you can swallow and just breathe deeply. 3 breaths. Deep breaths in and out of your nose. And then release. Beautiful. Take your hands behind your head. Lean your head back into your hands. Widen your elbows. Take a few more passive stretches in your chest. A few more breaths here. And then drop your knees to one side and roll off. Support your head. Use your hands and come all the way up. I hope that felt nice to finish with, opening up your chest a little bit, and hopefully you feel a little bit more informed on the pelvic tilt, how it affects your practice, and how you can adjust slightly in your postures. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and let me know if you have questions. I'll see you next time. Namaste.